All right. Welcome to We Talking About Sports. It's NFL Week 3 for us, and this is what we got on for today. We're going to talk about Thursday night football results. We're going to talk about an in-house wager day between the Jaguars and the Texans. Of course, we're going to answer some fun fantasy questions. We're going to get deep dives into that. And at the end of the show, we're going to get betting predictions, and we'll have an open forum for any other questions y'all have. Let's get into it today.
Let's go.
All right. As promised, we got Thursday night football recap and results. I'm here with Ben and Ron. Ben, I know you got a little bit more of attachment to this game. You were a Buffalo fan for quite some time. AFC East matchup, 31-21. Buffalo does pull it off. What'd you make of this game with the Bills keeping their undefeated streak alive?
Well, Josh Allen still looks like the MVP is what I made of it.
Front runner, right?
Still a bunch of no-namers. Kincaid looks like he's going to be the guy that they drafted him to be this year. That's 2 games where, he scores a touchdown. So for the Bills, I thought their window had closed. I said it at the beginning of the year. We'll see when it comes down to the playoffs. I still think, the Dolphins were having a lot of success against that defense. They were out Ed Oliver and Matt Milano. But regardless, it seemed like, whenever they have the ball, you just know that they're going to get some points. You really don't feel like they're going to punt much. Of course they do, but just the confidence when Josh Allen's behind center. It looks like he's going for back-to-back.
I agree. Ron, Ben said, regular season Josh Allen MVP here. Do you trust him in the playoffs, though, Ron? Is he just a regular season GOAT at this point?
No, he's a guy who you can trust the whole entire year. I don't think he's put up a performance in the playoffs where you can say, he pulled I don't know, what do you guys would compare a shitty playoff performance to, like a Lamar, somebody who can't get over the hill? Allen hasn't got to a Super Bowl, but he's competing with the best of the best and not backing down. He's not getting, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys blown out by Green Bay type of performances.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's the real deal from preseason all the way to the postseason. Besides them starting out 3-0, which is what we expected, right? On the betting side, Miami did cover the 11.5, and the over 50.5 did hit at the very end by 52. So if you were on those 2 plays, you cashed. On the flip side of this, boys, McDaniels, you've been seeing the pictures and the memes of him looking all acabao and all tired and stuff. Then you hear stuff about Tyreek wanting to get traded as well. Is this the end? We won't stay on it too long, right? But is this the end for McDaniels? Is it going to be a mid-season fire, or do we, you wait it out and it's still a little too early?
Yeah. When you look at that the Shanahan coaching tree, Kyle Shanahan and McVay, they look solid. They've been dealt tougher cards. Shanahan's quarterback out again. He's winning with Mac Jones. McVay beat up Stafford. They're still winning. They're undefeated as well. But it seems like McDaniels didn't live up to the coaching tree standard that was set by those 2 under the Shanahan coaching tree. I think at this point, the experiment should be done for the Dolphins and McDaniels. They should probably end up trading Tyreek and rebuilding for the future, getting a new head coach. I think what's done is done at this point, and he's not the answer. He's probably still a decent OC in the league, but as far as head coaching duties, you should probably take them away from Mike McDaniels at this point.
What's up with your brother here, Ben? He'll be an OC in Houston soon. Agree or disagree?
I wouldn't mind that. I agree with Justin. I think he'd be a hell of an OC. He just doesn't really have the respect of a locker room, like to lead the guys, but that's what D'Amico's for. Texans offense, man, they could use 2-3 fucking OCs at the same damn time, bro. It doesn't have to be a one-man job the way it's looking right now. But no, I do agree with Justin. It's like Cliff Kingsbury, right? Probably not going to be a good head coach, but as an OC, there's a line to hire him. Chip Kelly, another guy like that. So there's just guys out there.
He can dial them up, man, but you give him too much responsibility And like Ben highlighted, no one in that locker room respects him. I mean, they talk about him bad. So
I kind of like what Ben said about the D'Amico Ryan thing, because you see the trouble that they're having in Houston. And when he was a player, he was on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he's a little bit more knowledgeable on that side.
Yeah.
So you bring a high-end OC to take care of the offense for you. You can focus more on the team. And I feel maybe if Houston had a little bit more of a offensive-minded coach, they could be doing a little bit better offensively. Now, the injuries are there, right? You can't blame them for that. But if there was a little bit more attention to the offense on the Houston side, I mean, I think that they'd be doing a little bit better.
I think
Now that the
Houston
defense
what
is
it
already
needs to do.
cemented, your defense is top of the line over there. But shout out to Josh, shout out to Edgar and Roland, who are already with us. And let's just jump into the first fantasy question real quick, and then we'll finish off with this recap. So let's see. Josh has start 3, bench 1. Kenneth Walker versus New Orleans, Kamara versus Seattle, Derrick Henry versus Detroit, or ETN versus Houston. Since he only wants us to bench 1, I think it'd be easier just to pick your bench here, boys.
I'd probably say ETN versus Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I was going to go between ETN and Kamara. It didn't look good for Walker week 1. Week 2, he bounced back. They said Charbonnet hasn't been practicing.
He's doubtful today. He's doubtful.
Yeah, the Seahawks. You said he's doubtful, Ron?
Yeah, Charbonnet.
Okay. And he hasn't practiced, so it looks good for Walker this week. I mean, they're 7.5-point favorites at home against New Orleans. Kenneth Walker's probably going to score a touchdown, so I'd go with ETN also.
Yeah. Henry didn't have a lot of action last week. That's not happening 2 weeks in a row, I don't think. So I expect him to eat here a little bit more.
I'm going to just beg to differ here. I don't mind benching ETN, but if there was somebody else who I would, it's definitely not Walker, definitely not Henry. So Kamara versus Seattle. I know he's one of the primary targets offensively over there with the quarterback like Spencer Rattler. You're expecting those PPR dink and dunks. But against a defense like Seattle, I want to say they're playing in Seattle. I wrote it. I have something coming up. No, they're playing in New Orleans. So
it's
you could get
Seattle,
some.
Ron.
Is he?
Yeah,
it's in Seattle.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have Cup versus New Orleans. So yeah,
today.
so Cup's a home one. Yeah, that's the only other guy, Josh. But let's keep it going. Somebody else had one already. And Gene, what's up, Gene? Egbuka, Pearsall, or Hollywood? I will say that Egbuka is listed as he's probably gonna play, but I heard they have him on like a pitch count.
Yeah,
so that they're gonna be watching his snaps
for the 49ers. Ben broke it to me earlier. Jawan Jennings is probably out, right, Ben?
Yep, he is. He got confirmed out. Pearsall must start, Primo.
Pearsall must start. What about Hollywood?
I mean,
what's your take there?
It's. I mean, it's good. I think that the Giants are gonna give Akel Mahomes a hard time today with that defensive line. And I don't trust Hollywood Brown, bro. I've been out on Hollywood Brown. I get that he's going to get the targets or whatever, but you have Pearsall as the number 1, no Kittle, no Jawan Jennings, no Ayuk. This is the week. I think 15 points for Pearsall this week.
Well, so Edgar says that Hollywood has the highest ceiling.
I think he's just basing that on what Dallas was able to score on the Giants, so he thinks that maybe Mahomes and Hollywood would be able to replicate that. I just don't see it for Mahomes lighting it up today against that defense.
I got you. So
I think they win, but I don't know if they light him up.
Roland's got another one here. Jaden Allen's my quarterback, and he's out. Should I start Stroud or grab someone from free agency?
We got to know what's in your free agency bag, like what's available before you just go out and start Stroud. Just because that Houston O-line hasn't been able to protect Stroud, and even when they have, he's just not connecting to his receivers the way he did his rookie year, at least. It's been a year since he's been good now.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother Edgar this morning also because he was thinking about starting Stroud, and I just said, like, I get that we're Texans fans, but he has 1 passing touchdown in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And he had Drake May on his waiver wire. So I was like, you got to start Drake May.
Yes, Drake May is actually one of my starting quarterbacks that I drafted. I wouldn't start Stroud because that Jaguars defense is low-key good. I want to say they're ranked top. I actually just picked them up this morning because I needed to stream them because I had the Cowboys and they got absolutely obliterated by the Giants. So I believe I went and I picked up the Jaguars, and they're a low-key defense that's out there. They get a lot of takeaways, kind of like the Colts to me. It's another sneaky defense out there who are a little bit more of an aggressive style of defense. And Stroud just, I mean, if it ain't to Nico Collins, bro, he ain't got no other targets out there. Let's just call it what it is. That rookie wide receiver is not doing too great. I think he had one solid catch last week, but you're not getting anything from Dalton Schultz. You can't even dink and dump off to Joe Mixon because he ain't there. And, Chubb isn't going to take those little dink and dumps for, 20, 30 yards down the field on a screen or anything. And Stroud, rookie year, boys, I mean, he was running around like crazy, grabbing you points with his legs. Sophomore season, it went down. And even now, his scrambling ability isn't as great as it was his rookie year.
Yeah,
what's up, Noe? What's up?
He's been down ever since that O-line, especially with Tunsil going out. But he go to the Commanders, Ben Tunsil.
Yeah,
I mean, their anchor of the O-line is gone. So,
and even when you look at the weapons, I mean, those were like the days where they were loaded: running back, receiver, his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
But a new OC last year, new OC this year. They got to get it together, man. They got to get it together.
All right, before we move on, go back real quick, Justin, because I just want to touch on Mr. Cook over there in Buffalo. All the hype is Josh Allen, but hey, man, Cook is looking like a fantasy league winner. He's going off. Did you guys draft him? Is he on your team? Are you looking to trade for him, or nobody's just giving him up? Whoever has him is keeping him all year, more than likely.
I had him last year, and I got him like in the third round, and he ended up being like an RB1 to start. But then later in the season, Ray Davis started getting carries, and then Josh Allen started getting all the running touchdowns. So I didn't want to go back to it this year. So this year I actually have 0 James Cook. I'm regretting it.
Same,
just like Williams, Javonte Williams, 0 of him, and I'm regretting that as well.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on.
All right, let's move over to the week 3 matchups and headlines. To start, Kansas City and New York Giants. Ron has it here. Do the Chiefs start 0-3 for the season? And I think absolutely not. I think the Chiefs finally get over that hump and get the win today and start off 1-2.
What, we're supposed to give our take on the Chiefs too?
Yeah, of course.
You didn't? Oh, okay. My bad. You didn't say anything. I was waiting for you to throw it to one of us, dog. We're over here.
I was waiting for you. I gave my prediction there. I was waiting for you.
The no looker went right out of bounds, right?
It did, bro. I wasn't even. I was
coach is standing on the sideline with the ball like this.
Yeah. Bro, I was like up, like I was ready to box out, and Justin's throwing me the pass, man. That's what happened.
Keep the hands up.
KC at the Giants. Do the Chiefs start 0-3? King, how, bro? I wouldn't say it's a definite possibility that they win. The Giants are at home coming off that crazy game versus Dallas. I mean, why not have all the confidence in the world? KC isn't looking great. There's no running game over there. I drafted Pacheco this year thinking that I was the smartest dude in fantasy, getting him in later rounds, that he's going to blow up, fully healthy, full training camp, and nothing, bro, from Pacheco. Travis Kelce went and got married. I don't know, bro. Hot take of the day: New York Giants beat the Chiefs, set them 0-3. Fuck it.
Wow. Okay. Ben, you 0-3 start, or do we get to 1-2 and get them going?
Yeah, I contemplated using the Chiefs as my survivor pick this week, just because the division that they're in, it's kind of tough with the Broncos and the Chargers on the rise. These guys struggling. So I thought about it, but I just can't trust the offense. Like, I haven't seen them really put something together. I know that, it was the Eagles, and then week 1, I forget who the opponent was. It's been some tough games. This is
Chargers week 1.
Chargers, right? So this is probably their easiest matchup, guaranteed. I mean, but what we just saw from the Giants, I think, is what kind of stopped me from going with the Chiefs. I still think that they do win, just because I'm not taking Russell Wilson to beat.
Yeah, I'm not taking
Patrick
vintage
Mahomes.
Russell Wilson 2 weeks in a row.
I think that this is a good teaser piece, a little 6-point teaser, get it down to 1 or get it down to -0.5. Put Kansas City, with another team like the Seahawks or somebody. But give me the Chiefs. I don't know if they win by a full touchdown, but I do think that they get it done against the Giants.
All right, here's a little follow-up for Roland. He said that he had Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is out. What's available is in his pocket. He has Stroud on his bench. But available, Mariota, Lawrence, Russell Wilson, Penix, and Stafford. What would y'all do? Would y'all stream, or are y'all going to Stroud?
Man, it's ugly there.
That's a toughie, bro. I mean,
Normally, I would say Lawrence. I told Alex to stream Lawrence over Aaron Rodgers last week and Patrick Mahomes, and he ended up outscoring both of them. But this week, he does have the Texans defense. Not trying to be biased, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're not giving up a lot of points. You know what
And
I mean? They held the Rams to 14. The Bucks were at 14 until the last seconds of the game where they punched it in. So I don't like Lawrence this week. I would go Penix. Roland.
Penix versus the Panthers is, I believe, would be the smartest one here. Not Mariota. Russell Wilson versus
and
that
Atlanta is
Chiefs.
favored 5.5. So you think they're gonna, if Vegas sees them covering like that.
London's healthy. Pitts is having a little bit of resurgence. You always have the possibility of Bijan housing a little curl route to the fucking touchdown like he did in week 1.
Yeah.
I think Penix is probably your best bet here if you don't want to ride Jaden Daniels. Pause.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels
Very
out,
good pause.
so
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
can't
it's,
play
yeah.
him.
All right, let's move over to the other AFC battle. We got Denver and the Chargers. Chargers have looked good through 2 weeks now. You got to like the way that's shaped up. They're passing the ball way more than I thought they would with a Harbaugh offense-led offense. But Denver and Bo Nix, there's a resurgence there in Denver and Mile High. Ben, what do you think here? Are you going with the Chargers, or are you going to go with the horses here, Broncos?
My bad. I'm
Ben missing the pat. Justin's dropping dimes today, and we're not ready, bro.
What are we talking about?
We are not
I was accidentally muted. My bad. But
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
I was pretty high on the Denver Broncos coming in, but the defense just hasn't looked like what it was thought out to be. It was supposed to be one of those defenses, one of the first defenses, taken off the fantasy board.
Yeah.
And it hasn't looked that way, man. Daniel Jones, they didn't punt one time against him. Week 1, the Titans put up 20 plus against them. Cam Ward hasn't looked really that good, and he even put up 20 plus. And then from the Chargers, all we've seen is that the Chargers look like a Super Bowl team until the playoffs come and Justin Herbert shits himself. But this is not the playoffs. This is week 3. This is Justin Herbert time. They're at home. The line is under 3,
2.5.
so I do like the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Chargers as well, man. Quentin Johnson for me has just been a crazy pickup.
He learned how to catch,
He's been
Ron,
going
and
off.
that make the offense dynamic all of a sudden, right?
Well, he had some drop balls in the beginning of last week, but his fantasy value has been touchdown dependent. But the way that offense is moving the ball, it's like you got to start him. How do you not start this dude, right?
A lot of people drafted the running back from the Chargers thinking he was going to be a big deal, and he hasn't panned out. It's incredible how much they're putting the ball in Herbert's hands this season.
I know you also said that the Denver is doing great in all these high expectations. They just lost to the Colts. I mean, albeit a penalty right on the last play of the game with the field goal, we got to move it up a little bit. But they're not looking like that impenetrable defense over there. And Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton, that connection was expected to be like top wide receiver quarterback combo coming into this year based off last year. That hasn't looked as great either. Now you're talking about guys like picking up Franklin and Marvin Mims over here because Cortland isn't doing such a great job. So I don't think that they're as solid as last year going into the Chargers with everything you guys just said about them. I'm going to lean the Chargers in this game too. Something that we could see possibly for the AFC Championship game if the Bills somehow choke or Allen gets hurt or something.
So 3-0 on the Chargers today. They're going to fail now.
Yeah.
All right.
We just
Let's get to this last one here.
Yeah, and then we get to some more fantasy.
This is Monday night. This is a treat right here. Detroit and Baltimore. Ron put who's for real because the answer will be known after this game, I think. The Lions week 1 kind of got handled by the Packers. And the Ravens, they gave up a lead again. They shouldn't have given up. So answering who's for real on the AFC and NFC side, this is the game to determine it, Ron. Who do you got here?
I'm gonna go with Baltimore. Baltimore at home, definitely. I don't know what the line is. I should, but I don't.
The line
And
is -4.5 for Baltimore, -225 on the money line.
I'd say money parlay piece here, just because of the choke job that they did against Buffalo. But without that choke job, and then the way they destroyed the team that they played, was it Cleveland last week? Who did they play last week? I don't know, but they beat the fuck
Yeah,
out of them.
Cleveland. They beat the crap out of Cleveland.
Yeah, and then Detroit just looked a little bit more like you feel like maybe Detroit's gonna have more issues based
And
off
they
of that
beat the
week one.
Bears, right? So it's
Yeah, it was
not.
and then Jared Goff at home, you know what he does. That's like an automatic fucking 30 piece in fantasy football for Jared Goff. So that's why I put, who's for real? Is Detroit for real because they beat the Bears and was week one a fluke, or was week one a fluke for Baltimore because of the way they lost at the very end and then came and destroyed, the Browns? Realistically, to me, Baltimore is a team who should be 2-0 instead of Detroit, so that's why I like them to win on Monday.
I'm with you there. I lean with the Ravens. Ben, who are you leaning with? You going the NFC side, or are you going to go with the AFC side?
Yeah, I hate that we're all on the same side, man. But I'm
It
gonna
sucks
go
when we
with,
get along, bro.
That's never
Yeah.
good, bro.
I'm going with Baltimore also. The passing touchdowns, I'm in for Lamar. I shouldn't talk too much about Lamar losing the chat. I don't want him to have to go change his pants and shit.
Nambe, and then what's gonna happen is Louis is gonna come out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, he was in here earlier. He's talking about I'm starting QB Daniel Jones today.
He says, Louis said, we're spanking kitty cats again.
Oh, I thought
Just
Louis.
check the
Here he
Lamar
is.
record versus NFC opponents.
Hey, you say Lamar, vato, and the sensors just go
Right,
off,
Saliste,
bro.
what? Speaking of no look passes and dropping dimes over here, we see Louis balling out there on the court.
No, I like Baltimore also. Zay Flowers this year. I know that week 2 it was an okay week. This week I expect Zay Flowers to have a pretty big week against Detroit. I like the over in this game though. I also don't like the 4.5. I think it could possibly be a 3-point game. If it says here it's at Baltimore, so that does mean Jared Goff is outdoors. Not a really good recipe, but give me the over in this game.
The over is at 53.5, so you're looking at 28 points.
That's a lot of points.
28, 23 a team here.
Yeah, give me the over.
Speak up. All right,
Ron, any other games you're
Keep it
looking
moving.
at for this weekend slate?
True. Nothing that really stands out. Cincinnati versus Baltimore versus Minnesota. That's a battle of backups over there.
I do want to see what the Cardinals and the Niners do. Just because Kyle Shanahan, if he can get it working with Mac Jones, that tells me they overpaid on Purdy again. That just confirms it again once again to me. And being without Juwan Jennings, you're going to have to do Pearsall. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in that game.
I think you're overreacting a bit. I mean, they did beat the Saints and Spencer Rattler. So if he can't beat Spencer Rattler with Mac Jones, I don't think that necessarily means that they overpaid for Purdy.
I'm still going to hold on to that they overpaid Purdy, especially if they win today. That'll confirm it for me in my confirmation bias.
All right.
Just confirmation bias. Confirmation
There you go.
bias of hating on the Niners, because I think that was a good
But
pick.
dude, there is some good games. I mean, I speaking of the Cowboys, I mean, I don't want to hate on them. I expect a shootout, but I think that the Bears are live to get their first win here against the Cowboys.
Spread's only one, cuz.
We saw that Bland is out, Diggs is out.
Oh yeah, so Dunze, he's probably gonna eat now.
Roma Dunze will eat today for
Hey,
sure.
And we haven't seen
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. Yeah, anybody. There was another game here the Rams going to Philly.
Yes.
I mean, the Rams, if they pull that off, I mean, you got to think of them as top contenders in the NFC, bro.
You have to. Right now the line is 3.5 Philly, -200 on the money line for Philly.
Let's get to some more fantasy real quick. You can go to the next slide, Justin. But since we're talking fantasy chatter, Mr. Roland, what's up, brother? We miss you. Jacoby Myers or Mike Evans? I actually saw that because I'm playing against you, and I saw Mike Evans on your bench, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess he hasn't tinkered his lineup yet. But if you deep dive, this is a justifiable fantasy question here.
Man, for me, whenever I see Mike Evans, it's auto start every Sunday for me. It's just auto start.
I can't give advice because I'm playing him. So Ben, you got to go.
Yeah. Do y'all still got me? My computer's tripping a bit.
Yeah,
we're good,
we still
we're
got
good.
you. I mean, are you going with Myers, the Raiders, or are you going to go with Mike Evans here?
Yeah, I'm a Myers owner. He hasn't been bad at all. Mike Evans didn't get in the end zone last week. He had Stingley on him. Pretty tough
Yeah.
matchup last week.
Stingley was holding the shit out of him, so I can see why he didn't.
Yeah. All right. I like Mike Evans rolling. Mike Evans scores a touchdown today.
All right. Edgar's on Mike Evans. Roland agrees on Mike Evans. And then there was somebody else here before we get to the slide. I think it was Noe. Where is it? If you can, oh, here it is. Metcalf, Sutton, or Jay Williams. I'm assuming this is all for a flex play, or is it Jameson Williams?
It is.
It's you know what? I think it's Jameson Williams from Detroit.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can just clarify, because it could be Javonte too.
It is. Oh, if it's Javonte, the running back, I mean, this is all receivers, so I think that this is a wide receiver question. I think
probably
that's
JMO.
Yeah. I like DK Metcalf this week. I know that Gonzalez was ruled out again, the DB for the Patriots, who's a pretty good DB. I think that there's going to be some points. I also like the over in that game, the Steelers and the Patriots. So I like Metcalf. No, I'm starting Metcalf as my wide receiver 1 in a league.
All right, while we're waiting for that, Gene is saying, guys, do we sit Chuba for Mason and flex Brown or Ibuka? Don't like the Carolina matchup.
What was that on a text? I heard your text go off. Oh no, there it is.
No, it's here in the chat.
Oh yeah,
I think you stay Chuba, and I know Brown. This is the Bengals running back Brown. I think he got in the end zone week 1, but week 2 it didn't look too good. We got the QB change. You wasted a high pick on him, so it's pretty reluctant, to bench him. But you do have some good options with Chuba and Mason. I would start Chuba, Mason, and I would bench Brown and Ibuka. Is what I would do.
All right.
Yeah, I like Mason here a lot. He's the clear running back over there in Minnesota now with Aaron Jones being hurt. JJ McCarthy isn't going to play, so you have the backup quarterback in there as well. So you assume that they're going to want to run the ball, keep it out of his hands, even though you have a wide receiver like JJ who's out there on the field, who can make crazy plays for you. You're still going to feed Mason a little bit more. Ibuka, we talked about it earlier. There's injury concern there. So for sure, Mason for me. And same thing, with Brown. He's kind of in the same situation. There's no Joe Burrow over there. You expect them to run the ball a little bit more too. Ben said you wasted a high draft pick on him. Mason and Brown for me, bro.
All right, let's get it moving because we do have just about 20 minutes left here.
Yeah.
Fantasy chatter, Kraft, no practice Friday listed as questionable, coming off of 34 fantasy point performance. What do you do here?
24-point performance. He was tight end 1 last week. He said that they tweaked his knee, is what they called it, a tweaked knee in practice, I believe Thursday. Mm-hmm. Didn't practice Friday, got the okay. He's going to play. I mean, he's wide receiver 1, tight end 1, whatever you want to call him for the Packers. He's healthy. I'm probably putting a little too much attention to it. It was the underdog NFL page, and I think that they're pretty accurate whenever they tweet shit, but just the word tweak, it just means something maybe that kind of felt weird. So we wait, but we don't even know who their backup tight end is. So he doesn't have to practice to play, especially if it's only 1 day that he's missing. I think you got to run Kraft out there.
The only reason for me is that he didn't practice. He wasn't out there at all on Friday, at all. So usually you'll see them maybe warm up, or do some drills or semi-participant or something like that. And my only other thing is Juwan Johnson, bro.
Saints tight end?
Sleeper tight end 3 from the Saints. He's had back-to-back 15-point games. Would you start him over Kraft if you have 2? If we have both of them in the league, which I do, or do you start them both? Start one.
I'd still go Kraft over him. But I mean, those are good options, but I would still start Kraft.
No, he's saying Andrew or Kraft. I assume Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Andrews, bro.
He's like a nobody.
That's
right
another
now.
Conversation I was having this morning with Edgar, and he was having tight end dilemmas, and Andrews was out there, Andrews is out there on a lot of waiver wires, and it's for a reason. I mean, 1 point and 1 point. He had 1 target and 3 targets. I think Lamar's still being a little petty over that drop pass in the playoffs last year, bro. He fucking let them down.
Straight to the corner, bro. You can't drop that one. I mean,
he let them down big. I mean, Isaiah likely hasn't even been suiting up. It's been all Mark Andrews, and he's had 1 point and 1 point. So,
yeah.
Mark Andrews, Chamos, drop him, no, drop him.
This one's for me. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
No, I was going to go to the next one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to skip to, since we're on the topic of fantasy here and who start who, Juwan Jennings versus Arizona. Doesn't matter. Ben already said he's out. So let's cut it to Cup versus New Orleans, DK at Pats, or Rome at Dallas.
You got to go Cup. JSN,
two out of those 3.
JSN is going to be – he's hurt, I think. So I don't know if he's even going to start today.
He was sick. He's definitely playing.
So he might be limited in his play, JSN. So you got to go Cup.
Okay, Cup. Who else?
Bro, it's DK and Rome, and it's really not debatable.
Okay, so DK and Rome for you. I know I was gonna start.
I would say Rome over DK.
Yeah, I think Rome was a little bit more for sure for me. It was just, I guess the question is more between Coop and DK. But
now is this the game against Roland?
Because
we're not supposed to help you if you're going against Roland this
game.
No,
it's not. It's not.
Making sure.
No,
we helped Roland, so
it's in my work league. It's in my work league.
Yeah, that's DK and Rome Odunze. I think Rome can. I mean, Rome looks like the number 1 for Buffalo. I know that they're not winning games, but them coming in together as rookies is definitely showing to have that chemistry. DJ Moore, kind of the odd guy left out.
I think Cup just has a week this week, bro. I don't know what it is. That New Orleans secondary isn't great. And I don't know. It's just more of like one of those feelings that you get when you play fantasy.
Yeah, well, we're both on Rome. The only thing we disagree is Cup or DK.
All right, I like it. Justin, the Judkins. Do you guys get any Judkins? Are you stashing him? Are you ready for him to break out?
I drafted him at the end of my draft, Quinshon Judkins.
Oh,
but Ron put a whole new name on him.
I was hoping he would say.
What's his name?
Quinshon Judkins. He might be a new man after Ron blessed him.
Ron said it Mexican as fuck, bro. Judkins.
Yeah, Ole Miss product, Ohio State product. Really good running back. Cleveland needs the running game going. Last week he was serviceable. I think he had 10 points last week.
Yeah, I just think he's a guy. If you have in your roster, you're like waiting for him to explode. And I just wanted you guys to hype me up and be like, "Hey, that's badass, bro. You got him on your roster."
I drafted him real late. I have him. Probably will load him up today in my start. So
definitely, I think you can load him up. I mean, he is playing against the Packers. So
yeah, today's matchup sucks. So
it does, but I think he's at least a flex. I think normally though he can be like an RB2 type because he's the RB1. Right off the bat, he just signed his contract. He wasn't practicing.
There's nobody else.
Go meet with the NFL for that other shit, and they said you're up right away, kid. So
I love it. All right, Justin, keep us moving, man. We got 15 minutes.
Dive. Number 1 ranked fantasy scoring kicker in the NFL. Schrader, week 1, 16 fantasy points. Week 2, 18 fantasy points, and leading the Colts to an undefeated record right now, Ron.
Bro, this is all me right here. I wanted to put this in there because we talking about sports brings you guys the shit that you don't even think to go get on your waiver wire or bench players or start and sit. You guys always worry about the running backs and the wide receivers. Hey, this guy's going to go win you your league right here. So you're not going to get them in any league that you're playing with me because I got them all across the board. Now, whether I'm following the hype train or not, Schrader from the Colts is your number 1 ranked fantasy scoring kicker in the NFL. He is tied with Brandon Aubrey, but Aubrey had to hit those 60-yard bombs, right, in week 2 to get 23 fantasy points. So remember 63. That we talked. What's up?
63 bomb. I'm not over it, Ron. Every time you talk about it, I get hyped, bro.
So, yeah, this is just me putting this in there. So if you guys want to go get somebody who, you're in the playoffs and you have your kicker left and it's Monday night and you need 18 or 15 from your kicker, this is the dude to do it, bro. So heard it here first. This is just a heard it here first.
This is a good little gem, Ron. This is like.
You like that?
Yeah.
If you like it, That's all I need to know, bro.
Yeah,
Nobody
no,
else's
this is
opinion
good for the
matters
people.
here.
I think that I'm gonna give my cousin Gene your phone number, bro. That he calls me about like kicker questions, and I'm like, hey, cuz.
Hey, come on.
I'm like, cuz, you're stressing about this too much, dog. Like,
Nah.
hey, but now here's Ron's number, and he'll connect you with Schrader.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this, so you're putting me on.
There you
I'm
go.
a Brandon Aubrey owner. I didn't play no games. 11th round, Brandon Aubrey this year. He put up 20, 23, 25 points last week. But I like this. I like this gem. I'm going to go search my waiver wires.
Yeah,
It's
he's
crazy
probably
to
not
think
even
that some
on
of
the
these
way. You
kickers are
can pick
winning
him up
guys'
like
games.
you could probably pick him up right now, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to go check the waivers.
There was another stat that I saw because when it comes to kickers, bro, you can. Oh, here it is. So Brandon Aubrey, I think this was after the game against the Giants. He has more fantasy points in 2 games than Marvin Harrison Jr., Scary Terry, Stephon Diggs, Trayvon Henderson, Jerry Jeudy, Matthew Golden, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Breece Hall, Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, Travis Hunter, Brian Thompson Jr., T. Higgins, and Chase Brown.
Yeah.
That's how much kickers are important, bro. So there you go.
Well, like you said, these 2 kickers could have won you last week's games, and that's crazy to think about.
Exactly. Gran Galan. What's up, brother? UTRGV can beat the Cowboys. Gene is in here as well. Edgar. All these guys dropping comments, bro. We appreciate it. We appreciate it so much.
Let's
What
get
else we got,
into-
Justin? Because we're almost out of
Yeah,
here.
we're
Right?
out of here in 12 minutes. Let's get to these bets that we had last week. We did have some cashes. Rolling cashed on Seahawks +3. Ben cashed on the Eagles -1. I do not cash on Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown, unfortunately. Justin Fields does go out in that game early. Lions 6.5, Ron cashing 2 times, and the Rams Bengals parlay
Yeah.
that we all cashed on because I think Marky gave that out. And the Rams Cowboys we cashed on as well.
Yeah, I said I asked you for the odds, and it was +105 for that parlay. And I said, how much if you had the Cowboys? And it went up to like +2 something. So even that parlay hit. So those were our picks. Those are our picks for last week. I feel we did pretty decent. But I mean, if you look at the Texans game, I mean, that's a dub for Roland. That's a dub for Ben. The Broncos game for Ben, he stepped out really, really quick. But if you're Ben last week, you lose the Broncos -1 on that field goal. Then you lose the Texans -2.5 with the crazy comeback. I mean, you're hurting if you're my boy Ben, but he was on the right path. You can't hate him for those picks.
No, I agree. Let's get to today's best bets. The board is a lot smaller. We didn't give out a lot of bets.
Espérate.
What happened?
No, nothing. I was talking to Ben. Go ahead, run it.
All right, Ben, today he's on the Cowboys and Bears over 49.5.
Go back to
Falcons-
last week, though, real quick. Let me
All
I
right,
told you he was going to want to talk about
All
it.
right, let's
I
get-
told
we
you,
got
bro.
10 minutes. We got
Well,
10 minutes.
I don't want it to look like
No,
I'm
you're good.
dunking. I just had to go refill on some fuel right here.
No.
There you go.
I said, bro, like you were on the right track. You can't be mad at your bets from last week. You just
I'm
got
mad.
you just got
Oh,
like,
man.
Scott Van Pelt bad beat.
Bad beat.
Dude, I got bad beat, bro. The Colts missed the field goal, and they throw that
Penalty.
flag for touching the center. I mean, come on, that's a horrible beat, bro. And then the Texans, I mean, last second también, it was. I've been taking some bad beats, boys. I wanted to talk about this because, like, I was on the Ravens, against the Bills, and that was, oh man, that hurt. It's just too early to be taking beats like this, bro. This shit about the missed field goal and then they throw a flag and they get their re-kick and it's right down the pipe. Like, come on, bro. It's too early for this, dog. It's too early for this.
That's the
Not
NFL,
just
man.
that, not just that. So that happens, right? And then you go to your Texans game and they're score the Chubb touchdown. And you're all over that -2.5 cuts. And then here comes Boomer Sooner, baby.
Number the
That's
Texans
naked.
could have won by 1 and I could have lost this spread and I would have been happy. But just the fact that they lost the game, bro, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, here we go. Our defense been locking down since the first quarter. They gave up 2 touchdowns early and then nothing the rest of the game. Got that lucky missed field goal from the Bucks for sure. But I mean, just some horrible beats.
Baker's been taking care of you guys since he was at Texas, since he was taking care of the Longhorns, bro.
He's my fantasy QB.
He's
bro,
only
so
2-1.
okay.
Don't make it seem like he's undefeated against the Longhorns.
That was gonna strike an arrow on Justin. I wanted
It
to
hit me
drop that little
straight to the
diamond.
neck. Straight to the neck.
Real
All right.
quick, 2-1.
Cap it off
he's got
here.
it tatted on him.
All right, hey, man,
Hey.
go ahead and cap off your picks here. I love
Hey,
the
if you know, you
Falcons.
know, right? With this
Yeah.
picture right here, if you know,
No,
you know.
I get it, but get this guy the fuck off our screen, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Right here, baby.
Anyways, this week I'm trying to 1-2 last week. We're trying to get on the right end of 500 here. Cowboys and Bears, no defense. I talked about the Cowboys secondary being out. We saw what Jared Goff did to the Bears last week, hung 50 on them. I expect Dak to be a top 5 QB in fantasy this week. So I like the over there. On the Falcons, -5.5. They're playing, the Panthers, and the QB just looks bad. Young. I mean, that might be one of the worst number 1 picks, that there's been in a while. Worse than Caleb Williams for sure, even though he's a bust also.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then the Chargers, I talked about them looking like a regular season Super Bowl contender. Mark my words, when the playoffs come, I will not be on them because Justin Herbert shrinks in the playoffs. But right now, we're in the regular season, and I'm going to rock with the Chargers against the Broncos.
Are we going 3-0, Ben? Is that happening today? 3-0?
I hope so, bro. I really
think so.
hope so.
I like these bets. Ron, hit it to you. What do you got here?
Yeah, I'm telling Ben on the Cowboys and Bears over with the injuries that you guys said that the Cowboys have on the secondary. That's even more of a reason for me to take that line.
Yep.
Hopefully, it hasn't jumped up to like 50 or 51.
It's still 49.5.
It's still 49. All right, Cowboys and Bills are over 49. And then we hit the parlay last week, Justin. So why not just continue in that trend? I got the Colts beating the Titans on the road as a 5.5-point favorite. Then I have the Bucks hosting the Jets as a 6.5-point favorite, and then topping it off with the Seattle Seahawks at home -7.5-point favorite. I don't know what the payout is. I assume it's plus money.
I'll pick it up for you here.
I assume it's plus money, and it's
I'm
just
going to tell because last week's one, I didn't throw the
Colts,
Bengals in like you did.
Tampa.
The Bengals one was kind of dicey.
And then speaking of that, Ben, you were on the wrong side of some late calls. I was on the right side of some late game calls because Cincinnati had no business winning that game either.
Pass interference.
Those 3 picks gets you plus 130.
Plus 130, not bad. It's a little chalky, obviously, on the money lines, but something you can have fun with. If you don't have any player props or any individual plays. Maybe something to just start off the day with too, because Indy and Tampa Bay are 12 o'clock games. Seattle is a late one, so
I'll say this though. For me, y'all are better than me because I still cannot stomach putting money on Daniel Jones. I know they're 2-0. I know they're playing the Titans, but there's just something inside me that's like,
Indiana
Daniel Jones. You can't do this.
Indiana Jones.
Maybe I have to learn to get over it. Maybe they win this week. Next week, I'll go put money and believe in them, and then they'll lose because I did it. So that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I like Seattle. I said they're my survivor pick this week against New Orleans just because I don't think that you're going to be able to use them at any other point. Their division's pretty tough. They're at home here against Spencer Rattler and the winless Saints. We think that the Saints are trying to tank, for a top pick. So I think that this is a perfect time to use Seattle. I thought about using Tampa, like same way I thought about using the Chiefs. Tampa out a couple of offensive linemen. I still like them to win, right? But I'm just saying what my thought process was in not using them. But they had a couple offensive linemen get hurt against the Texans. We saw the Texans, obviously, they have a way better pass rush, but they were getting to Baker. Last week, we saw him kind of tweak his ankle, but he had to get up and make sure to talk some shit to C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
I was sick, bro.
It was sick. And then we got the Ibuka Unlimited. So that kind of was like, I'll wait on the Bucks. They play the Saints twice. They're in the same division. And I'll try and pick the Bucks when they're at home against the Saints. I like that parlay, Ron. I like that parlay.
All right, well, we're going to close it out. We got about 2 minutes left. We got this slide here. Ron,
I forgot, Justin.
The friendly bet. The pod wager is on today.
Yeah, the pod wager. We love doing the show with each other, but also, the show grew from the group chat, that we were all in. So shout out to the group chat, OGs over there in our group chat. Me and Ben got a little talkative this morning, and we said we'll place a little friendly wager, nothing crazy, but obviously his squad is the Texans. I like the Jags. I streamed their defense this week, so we got into it. Little friendly wager here. I'm on the Jags. Ben's on the Texans. May the best man win. Justin, just give us a little.
What's the wager though, real fast? What are we betting here?
Friendly $20.
Friendly 20. All right, we'll see.
At 8 a.m., the group chat was already going off. It's Sunday. You know, football's on. You wake up with a little bit more testosterone in you.
Let's
see. But I don't know about picking up the Jags defense. I think that's where he took it too far.
Took it too far. Yeah, you know, you wake up in the morning, you open the garage, the sun is shining. There's the sereno still on the grass. You know, the nice little breeze.
The dew's still there.
Yeah. You want to talk about wagers, bro? Justin, break the tie. Jags or Texans?
Who's home?
Jags.
Give me the Texans.
Oh, terrible.
That's a division game, bro. The Texans just own the Jags. That's just the way it fucking works. Like
fucking
that's
relax.
This is the path to the playoffs for the Texans. They have to win the divisional games because they can still win the division. I think they're going to lose a lot of non-divisional games, but they got to still win these AFC South games.
Relax. Hey, as always, thanks for watching, everybody in the chat. We had some good ass fucking questions today, bro. Thank you for those questions. Thank you for the interaction. We try to do our best to give you the best advice when it comes to betting and fantasy, and we appreciate everybody watching, commenting especially. And if you want to share it, watch it over again. I know we do Sunday night picks and Monday picks, so you know you can circle back to the video. But as always, thanks, man. Thanks for the support. Anything y'all got to say before we bounce out of here?
Enjoy your Sunday and enjoy that Monday night treat. Ravens and Lions. I think that's going to be game of the week.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Peace.
Later.